How does Marxism relate to feminism? Have you ever wondered how two powerful ideas like Marxism and feminism connect? Let's break it down. At the heart of this relationship is Marxist feminism, which looks at how capitalism affects women's lives. This perspective builds on Marxist philosophy, especially the idea that economic systems shape society. It helps us understand women's roles and struggles in a capitalist world. Marxism explains social classes and oppression through how production and wealth are organized. Marxist feminists argue that women's oppression is closely tied to capitalism. They point out that unpaid domestic work, like raising children and maintaining the household, supports the capitalist economy. This work is essential because it reproduces the labor force without pay, which keeps class structures in place. Friedrich Engels, a key figure in Marxist thought, made significant contributions to this analysis. He linked the origins of the family, private property, and the state to the oppression of women. Engels believed that early societies had more equal gender relations. However, as agriculture and property ownership developed, women were pushed into monogamous relationships and domestic roles. This shift marked the beginning of class oppression in European society, where wealth and inheritance became central, confining women to the home. Marxist feminism also critiques how capitalism relies on the exploitation of resources, including women's unpaid labor. It highlights how imperialism and colonialism have used gender oppression to control populations and resources. This connection shows that women's exploitation is part of larger global economic systems. In the context of European history, Marxist feminists have been active since the 19th century. Many were involved in the first international and socialist movements, advocating for women's rights alongside the fight against capitalism. They argued that women's liberation is tied to dismantling capitalist structures. While Marxist feminism focuses on capitalism as the root cause of women's oppression, it differs from socialist feminism. Socialist feminism also considers patriarchy as a separate system of oppression. However, Marxist feminism prioritizes class exploitation. Practically, Marxist feminism has influenced feminist movements in Europe by stressing the need to address economic inequality and unpaid domestic labor. It called for revolutionary change in both gender relations and the economic system that creates inequality. In essence, Marxism relates to feminism by offering a materialist view of women's oppression linked to capitalism and class structures. Marxist feminism, rooted in European Marxist thought, sees women's liberation as connected to transforming economic and social relations in capitalist societies.